Hello everybody, I am El Bristow, welcome back to Elitopia Gaming and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program Live. I have just finished my dinner, which was a homemade Chinese, so it's time for us to have a look at some Kerbal Space Program. Now, last week we had quite a few issues. We had some crashes and we lost, well, most of our money. We have 44,710 funds left. That's not very much. We might struggle. We might struggle to do anything productive with those kind of funds. However, we are going to give it a try, and we are hopefully going to take on some contracts to allow us to do that. We already have a contract which will pay us 35,000 in funds and 34 science if we test a small gear bay on a suborbital trajectory over Kerbin. That can't be that difficult to do. So, 77,200 to 82,100. I reckon we can manage that. So let's find out if there's anything else that we need to do, perhaps suborbital or maybe in orbit. Test hydraulic detachment manifold on an escape trajectory. Escape trajectory, I don't know that we're going to be doing that one. These are for a space station. I would like to get a space station up, but we're a bit short on funds. Explore Ike and Duna, they're going to have to wait, unfortunately. Rescue Lodbur. Now, rescue missions actually are possibly not that expensive. They don't really. Oh, they pay 50,000 though. That's pretty good. So we might have a look at a rescue mission. Position satellite in equatorial orbit of Minmus. Minmus, not on these funds. Probably not. What else have we got? Around the moon, around Minmus. So position satellite in specific orbit of Kerbin. Now a satellite possibly we might be able to launch, and that's 64,000. With an advance of 12.5. Launch a new unmanned probe that has power and an antenna. Reach the designated orbit around Kerbin with a deviation of less than 7%. Neutralize controls for 10 seconds. And the apoaps... Oh, goodness me. 7 million meters. Well, that's pretty high. That's actually outside of geostationary altitudes or geosynchronous altitudes. That is very high. So I think we're going to take on the rescue mission, and we will take on the satellite positioning mission to unlock some extra funds. We've got nearly 70,000. It's going to be a very budget rocket, but I think that we might be able to do it. Quick hello to everybody in the Twitch chat. We currently have, that I can see, Red Hypernova. We have Enderwolf 360. And we have, where's he gone? Hakura Takayama. Welcome to you guys. There are a couple more people apparently watching, but I don't see them in the chat, so feel free to say hi if you are watching and you haven't done so yet. Also, don't forget to share the channel to get some more people viewing, because it's nice to have a nice busy channel for you guys to have people to talk to while I go into my quiet periods. So... Oh, there we go. Amigo Gumble. Amigo Gumble. Okay, Amigo Gumble. Welcome to the chat. So, we need to launch something where we can launch a satellite. We need to launch something where we can rescue Lodbur, and the small gear bay is just going to be inconsequential. Mods, we are running a rather large list of mods. I have put a link in the chat, which you've probably already seen by the time you've heard me say that. That is the full list of mods that we are using. I've been keeping them updated. Oh, we have a new follower, and it is Amigo Gumball. Thank you for the follow. We have... yeah, we have quite a long list of mods running. We do have, as I promised Enderwolf that I would, we do have the new B9 mod running. Actually, we haven't unlocked some of those parts, so let's go and do that. We switched over to the new B9, the official B9, not the patched up by the community B9. So let's go and have a look in the research centre and unlock those parts. Information from the guys over at Squad is that this research centre is going to get considerably more expensive. JSI external radial mount camera. That's not B9. Photovoltaic panels. That's a solar panel. What's that doing there? Oh, we have another new follower, Red Hypernova. Thank you very much. Welcome, welcome. Let's see. Where's the other parts? Where are they? There's one. What's that we've got to unlock? Oh, that's just a thruster block. Okay. So I think most of the parts have ported over. They do tend to be kind of in the higher end of the tech tree. I'm not really sure exactly where in the higher end of the tech tree. See, I think that... Is that part of B? No, that's KW. I don't remember. They don't say B9 Aerospace, do they? Is it these? Yeah, Lockspeed Kerman. I believe that's part... No, that's part of Space Plane Plus. Tetragon Projects. Is that B9? I don't remember. I don't remember. Well, I've seen them in creative mode. I just can't see them in here. Maybe they are even higher up the tech tree than I thought they were. Tetragon. Is that Tetragon? Yeah. I think Tetragon is B9. So there's quite a lot of extra parts added by Tetragon. The new cockpits, fuselage adapters, bicouplers and all that kind of thing. We also have... There's some new engines somewhere as well, but we'll take a look at those as and when we get to them. Right now, we need to put together a rocket. I do have Station Science that is running, and we have the contracts being offered to us at the moment for Station Science. So we will be taking a look at that a little bit later on in the series, probably. Why are they still not unlocked? Oh, cannot be the first part on a vessel. Oh, that's okay, that's okay. So, we need a recovery vessel, which generally means we want to use the Mark 1-2 command pod, which also means we're going to need the... Where is it? The heat shield that goes with that. There it is, somewhere here. There we go, for the Mark 1-2 pod. There we go. And we're going to need a parachute on the top of that. Now, the question is, do we want a parachute on the top, or do we want parachutes on the side so that we can also attach a satellite to the top of this? And I think a satellite is probably the way to go. So, I'm going to attach radial parachutes to the sides. There we go. Two's enough for that, isn't it? And we're going to stick a decoupler. No, we're not. Let's stick a procedural fairing base, which is under aerodynamic, I believe, isn't it? That's just a normal fairing base. There's the procedural one. And can we do... I always get the interstage ones wrong. Come on. These are very finicky. It's very tricky to get these in the right place. Look, because they do that. Come on. There it is. Right. Okay, so that's that. And now we can build something in there, which we'll need to start with a decoupler anyway. There's some little decouplers here somewhere. If I do that, and then scale that down, there we go. And then we can have a look at putting together a probe backwards. There we go. Some fuel on that. What fuel do we want to use on that? What did we use before? We did something like that. And then scaled it down. There we go. Doesn't really have to be anything special. Extra height. Make that a bit bigger. Yeah, it doesn't have to be anything particularly special. Just needs to be a probe. We can use the probe-a-dobe-a-dobe-a-dobe-dine. And it's going to want some... Nope. It's going to want some solar panels, which are in this one. Which can go on the sides. Like so. What else do we want to put on this? We can put some communications dishes on it. We'll put one of these on, although we don't really need it. Can't hurt. No, I won't risk it with more and more of those. So let's get some batteries on it. We need some batteries. They're a bit big, aren't they? Let's put them there and there, and then attach that. I don't want to accidentally attach that to the fairing, so let's make that even bigger and put that there. Good, good. Can I? It's not going to let me attach on the top of that, is it? That's not going to work. Oops, yeah. Moobot doesn't like you posting links. You need to ask for permission to post links. There you go. I've given you some permission there. Yeah, this isn't going to work, is it? So let's... Oh. That might be why it wasn't going to work. Okay, okay. So, let's move that out the way. And we'll go back to the standard one. Like that. Like that. And like that. Okay. That's more like it. So that has some fuel to deorbit it. We can put it in orbit. It's got some communications dishes. I'll tell you what, we will stick that antenna on there. Just because we can. We don't want to make it any heavier, so we might leave it at that. Don't use extra height on in-stage fairing, use standard height. Oh right, okay. Well, we can stick with this one for now. This is okay. We've got to give it a flag as well. Can't not give it a flag. Except the flag doesn't want to show properly. That's weird. It will only go on if I do it wonky. There we go. Put it in there. Or I could do it That'll do. There we go. So, I don't think the probe needs anything else. It's got some fuel, it's got some solar panels, it's got some batteries, and it's got some communications. That's about all that is going to need. It'll only really be temporary anyway. So, we now need to look at our launch stage. So, we need a decoupler under here, which will be one of these. 2 meters? No, must be that one. There we go. And then we need to be launching this thing into space, which means we're going to need some fuel. Actually, we're going to need a return stage first, aren't we? Something like that. There's a low profile engine somewhere that we can probably use quite effectively here. Look at that little diddy thing. 390 ISP in vacuum, maximum thrust of 120. Not bad for a return stage. For 500 subs, can we have 2 episodes of colonising Kerbals a week? Oh, now there's a request. Oh, I'll have to think about that one, because that does involve me actually recording and editing 2 episodes. But no, possibly we might be able to do something like that. Okay, so another decoupler under there. Probably going to need some life support on here. They're not going to be up there very long, but just in case anything goes wrong, we'll add some life support. That's food, life support, container, that one. No, must be the large one. Okay, so just in case anything goes wrong, they've got plenty of snacks to keep them happy. Sometimes SATs need barometers. It didn't say about a barometer, it did only say unmanned probe built for the reach designated orbit. Neutralize controls. It did say an antenna, which is why I've gone with that, because I think that might be what it's referring to with the antenna. I can understand it would be asking for something to be on there. I think the antenna is what it was after. Now, we're already up to 19,000, so we are going to have to be very careful with our fuel. Let's get a Kerbal Engineer module on this. Preferably only one. We'll put it there. Let's have a look at what the engineer says at the moment. We have a mass of 23 tons, 23,000 kilograms. That's quite a lot. YouTube channel name, my YouTube channel name. There we go. So let's have a look at what fuel we've got. We have got these. And if I stick, I don't know where everything is today. These are 350. No, they're tiny. Where's the? We'll use a skipper or a mainsail. The skipper's actually slightly more efficient, but not as powerful. Yeah, thrust to weight's no good on that. So we'll have a mainsail on that, and that gives us plenty of thrust to weight, but doesn't give us a lot of delta V. So we need some way of pushing this thing up into the atmosphere. Now, I came up with a very interesting idea, which I have tested before, and it worked surprisingly well. Now, we haven't really unlocked all the parts that we need to do this properly, but if I grab some... No, that's a big one. I want the small ones. Where's the smaller engines? Here we go. And I grab like a lot of them, except I actually want decouplers on them. Right. Then we go for a lot of fuel tanks, and then we attach to those jet engines. And obviously we need some kind of air intakes on those. We don't have the circular air intakes. These are not air intakes, are they? No. What's that? Aha! Circular intake. Thank you, B9. Come on. Attach. Stupid KW rocketry bug. Right, we go to 1. Attach that. Attach that. Then grab that. And attach lots. Is this a contract mod or a vanilla contract? We've got a Rescuer Kerbal contract, which is a vanilla contract. There we go. There we go. Yeah, we've got the Rescuer Kerbal contract, which is a vanilla contract. We then have the Positioner Satellite, which is not a vanilla contract. That is from... forgotten what it's called. Fine Print, the Fine Print mod. And then the Small Gear Bay, that is a vanilla contract as well. So these guys will give us 1,500 delta V with a 1.01 thrust to weight ratio. We could add some more, because these things are not particularly heavy, because they've just got these little light fuel tanks on them. So what we can do is something like that. No, I don't think that'll work actually, on second thoughts. That won't, but this might. If I... oh, KW Rocketry doesn't really like me today by the looks of things. It's giving me nice freezing and frame dropping. How's about something like that? And we can even asparagus stage it. By going like this. There we go. So we could have all of those fire at the same time on the launch pad, giving us a 1.42 thrust to weight ratio. Drop the oxidizer from the boosters, of course. That improves our thrust to weight even more. Thank you for that little reminder there. So that gives us 1.89 thrust to weight ratio. That's pretty awesome. Oh, we have a new follower, Ikari. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for the follow. We are at 138,000. Yes, that is too expensive, isn't it? So, whoops, I didn't mean to do that. If I ditch those, we're at 45. Okay, so maybe that will be for when we've finished these. Have we got a cheaper way of doing it? How much is that? That costs 1,920. 15,000. No, that must be a big one. 1,600. Yes, I do stream 720 because I have a rubbish upload speed from my current internet provider. However, next Friday I am having a new satellite dish fitted, which will give me a much better upload speed. So I will be hopefully boosting the quality of my streams. Yeah, I think solid boosters may be the way we need to go. I didn't really want to go with the solid boosters, but they are a lot cheaper and they do give us the necessary thrust to weight. I think we need probably a couple more than that. .64. Could do with more than that too. What if we go for... Actually, they're surprisingly cheap. So what if we go like this? Oops. Come on. Let's put those down as low as we can. And then bring those down to... Should probably stick to 1.25 metre parts for the upper stage. Maybe do 2.5 in the lower, but you need a lighter upper stage. Well, yeah. We need the 3-person pod ideally, because we're doing a rescue mission, which is a bit tricky with the one-man pods. I know it can be done with the one-man pods, but it is much easier with a 3-man pod because you can just put one man in it. Let's have some nose cones on the top of here. Hopefully we can afford those. Yes, we can. We're really pushing our budget though, so we're going to need to make sure that this works first time. Let's make sure we have lots and lots of struts to hold everything together. Not particularly tidy strut placement, but never mind. Oh, another new follower, Rolf Georg. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for the follow. Let's go struts in to there. Indeed, more struts, more struts. You can never have too many struts. It's not strictly true, but for the purposes of Kerbal Space Program, you can never have too many struts. Now, ideally, we also need some kind of launch stabilizer. Let's go for... How much is that? 250. I can afford that. The one from FASA Launch Towers. How are we looking Delta V wise? 4,300 before we get to our upper stage. That's not too bad. 4,300 is just shy of being able to get into orbit, but then we've got an extra 2,000 Delta V on the pod itself. So actually that works out quite well because we won't be leaving any debris in the atmosphere. Let's think. We need to... Oh, we haven't got any... we haven't got any SAS on here, have we? This thing's going to wobble about like anything. How much is SAS? 2,100. We are really cutting the budget fine. I haven't put the fairings on either. How much are the fairings? 100? I hope they are. They were not 100. What was I doing? What was I doing? Oh, SAS. So let's go under here, I think, for SAS. There we go. And are we going to need some stabilizers? Can we afford them? Some R8 winglets. No, we can't afford them. Or at least we can't afford that many of them. Are we a bit wonky here? I think we are, aren't we? I think our engines are a bit off centre. Is that better? No, not really. What's going on there? Why can't I line that up properly? It's very strange. Maybe they were lined up. Ah, are we not on the... Ah, we're not on those properly. Okay. That makes sense. Are we on them now? Yeah, that's better. That's not what I meant to do. Undo. Okay. So, let's come around and try and do it around here. Let's attach that there, like... No? Okay. Undo. Don't want to reconnect all the struts for me. No, okay, I'll have to redo the struts. Marvellous. Just what you need when you're on a budget, eh? I'm going to have to move these top ones too. In fact... Right. Struts and struts and struts. Strut. 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 A bit tidier this time. Strut. Strut. Copy. Come up here. Attach to here. Up there. Like so. Hey, it worked. But then we need to put the nose cones back on. And restrut them. There we go. So, are all our calculations still correct? These aren't right, are they? So let's... they can move up to there when they detach along with that one. So they fire, giving us 1.17 thrust to weight ratio. They drop off, they fire, giving us 1.63, which is more than enough for what we've got planned. Then they'll drop off there. Oh, let's put the launch clamp down there, shall we? When they drop off, that one fires. Then we come up here, that drops off, and then we've got... This is where it gets confusing because we've got the probe as well. We can ditch those off when we detach that. Parachutes hopefully will be the last thing that we want. Okay, so we have a delta V of 6,421, which should be enough, hopefully, to get us where we want to go. What do we think? Sound fair? So, what are we going to call this thing? Where have we got to with our Twitch numbering? We are at, that was Twitch 10, so this is going to be Twitch 11, since we still have not had any recommendations from our Patreon supporters. Hey there, Chip. Welcome, welcome, welcome home. Welcome back. Welcome home. Welcome home to Elitopia. So yeah, this thing is looking like it's going to do what we want to do. However, we have forgotten to attach the gear bay. I'm hoping, yeah, it's only 450, so that's fine. We have to do it on a suborbital trajectory, which means it needs to be somewhere up high. And we only want one of them, because basically we can't afford any more than that. We're going to scale it down, and we are going to, no, not disable the brakes, we're going to start it retracted, but I'm not going to put it there, I'm going to put it around the other side here. There we go. So hopefully we can test that when we are on a suborbital trajectory. Can anybody spot anything that I have missed? Yeah, life support. We could reduce this down. We don't need nearly that much. That's 949 days worth, so we could perhaps do that. 491 days. In fact, we don't need that much even. We only need a little bit. 224 days. We probably don't even need this thing at all. 147 days. Tell you what we haven't got. We haven't got any solar panels on the pod. How much are solar panels? 380. We can afford them. They're 400. So that's 800. We can afford them. So I'm going to put them on. Move these parachutes up a little bit. There we go. I will be removing 2 Kerbals. I haven't done yet. So, TAC Life Support is saying we've got 147 days worth of food, water, and 152 days worth of oxygen. That should be good for what we need. Might just want to strap on a small hex can. Yeah, but the aerodynamics of the hex cans are pretty atrocious, so I'm wary about attaching those when we've got to try and push through the atmosphere. So I think we'll stick with what we've got and just have it scaled down like we have there. 6,732 meters a second when we detach our probe. 4,517 up to stage 6. So that will get us into orbit now, hopefully. Just don't get up in orbit with 3 Kerbals. Yes, we're not gonna do that. In fact, let's do that now. Who have we got? Bob, Macdas, and Almin. Well, we have to succeed, so Bob Kerman can come with us. I had, out of interest, complete sidebar here, I had an interesting idea for a hardcore challenge, which I might take on myself at some point. And that is, as per my normal rules, no revert, no quick save, no quick load. And in every mission, you must take one of the orange Kerbals If you lose all 3 of the orange Kerbals, the game is over. There's my challenge. I'll probably formalise that and put it like on a forum post somewhere, or I'll put it on the Yellowtopia website or something like that. But I'm working on a hardcore challenge that I'm going to be giving to the Kerbal community to see how long people can last and how far up the science tree they can get. So let me know in the chat, you guys on Twitch. Let me know what you think about that idea. Meanwhile, let us save the Twitch 11. And with Bob Kerman, we will take this thing out to the launch pad. A bit of a dodgy shoulder today. For those of you who didn't hear my small announcement earlier, I have episode 7 of Colonising Kerbals all ready to roll. It is uploaded and waiting for me to hit the button on YouTube. And that will be going live after this stream. If you're not yet subscribed to my YouTube channel and you have no idea what Colonising Kerbals is, then please head over there and take a look. I killed all orange suits and like 5 other Kerbals in the first 3 to 4 contracts of my game. It's not a very good save. Well, we did pretty much the same with this Twitch save, and I certainly did pretty much the same with Colonising Kerbals too. So you're not alone there. It's certainly not easy getting started in hardcore mode. Okay, so we are ready to roll. We have our SAS on. We have our throttle up to 100%, even though we don't actually need it with the solid boosters. Are we ready for a launch, guys? Here we go. Ready, Bob? Ooh, that's a slow launch. That's a really slow launch. It's going straight though. I like the straightness of this launch, he says as the rocket tips over. So we're only just reaching 1,000 meters a second. 1,000 meters. This is not lag. This is not lag. This is just a really slow rocket. Well, I suppose you guys might be getting some lag. I can't help that, I'm afraid. Okay, we're getting ready to stage off these engines now. Here we go. Don't explode, don't explode. Ooh. I think we just lost our main engine. We just lost our main engine. That was not good. We must get to the suborbital trajectory to be able to test that wheel. You know what I didn't do? I didn't check where our Kerbal is. That was a bit silly. Oh well. Should have waited for him. Never mind. Yeah, more separatrons. Right, now this is where it gets interesting. Where is our... Yeah, we're not high enough, so... we'll have to stage those off. And we're going to have to stage that off. And then activate this. Which is not a very powerful engine. This is not intended for use at these altitudes. And it's overheating. I don't know if we're even going to reach the suborbital trajectory. Where is that wheel? Let's spin ourselves around so I can see it. There it is. I think we may need to just burn straight up. Was it 72,000? 77,200 we need to get to. This looks a bit like I'm trying to launch a battery. A giant, you know, one of those ones you put in a flashlight. $64. I don't know if we're going to do it. That's 70. We need another 7,000 meters before we reach our apoapsis. We are speeding up. I think we might be able to actually do it. There's a lot of science and a lot of cash running on this. It does, you're right. I always forget about the abilities of the Kerbal engineering system. Come on, come on, come on. 75. $76. Let's get ready on this thing. We need at least 77,200. And when we get there, I'm going to whack this thing prograde and just see how... There we go, we are going to do it, we are going to do it. So, let's whack this thing prograde and see how much we can get into orbit. There it is. Run the test. Yes! Okay. Now, let's cut the engine, see where we are. No, we've got no chance of getting into orbit here. Orbital speed. Yeah, we've still got a long way. So, technically it's a fail, but it's still kind of a pass. We've got some money back from this, and we've got some science points. Let's see, can we grab any science points or anything from here? No. Maybe when we re-enter the atmosphere we might be able to pick up a few. What's our current delta V, out of interest? Vessel, that's the one I'm after. No, there's nowhere near enough. We're going down now anyway, so... Okay, so... we're taking this back down into the atmosphere. Let's see if we now have... We can, here we go. Let's get some science while we're here. EVA report. Not a lot, but some. Jump back in. Now, what I'll try and do is recover as much of this as I can. So if I point myself retrograde now, as we re-enter, I will try and shield our parachutes and everything. Our parachutes will be on our next stage. And let's see, we then want that one to decouple. Then that's our heat shield. And then if we need it, we can decouple the probe. Yeah, the thruster weight just was not enough on that, but we did complete the contract. 34,800 funds and 34 science and 435 reputation. The reputation might mean that we've got some more contracts that we can take on, so that was certainly worth it. These are all the boosters and stuff that we didn't get to recover. So let's make sure that we are pointing retrograde and speed ourselves up a bit. Let's put fine controls on while I speed it up. There we go. Let's not speed it up while we're going through the flamey part of the atmosphere. And then we'll get ready to pop the chutes when we slow down. Any idea what kind of terrain we're over here? I can't see anything. So launching using this engine overheats it. Re-entering doesn't care. There's logic for you. Just did a mission to Ike and back with tack. That was quite scary seeing the food run out, but they made it all. Well done indeed. Okay, parachutes. Come on. There they go. Phew, thought they weren't going to go then. Going through the clouds now. As I say, I'm not sure what our current radar altitude is. I suppose I can have a look in the cockpit, can't I? Where's radar altitude these days? No idea, and I haven't set up the cockpit. Oh well. Oh, we're on the water. Okay. Let's see if we can slow ourselves down enough to land on the water. Don't break. Ah, it broke. Boing, 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 boing. Well, we were close. Let's recover what we can. See how much we get back from that. Still got some fuel, so that's normally worth a bit. Okay, so Bob gets some badges. Splashdown ribbon, whatever that one is, G-Force ribbon, dangerous EVA, collision ribbon, solid fuel booster ribbon. We gathered 17.1 science and 84 total now. And we recovered 14,157 funds, giving us 51,000. How much did we start with? Was it 68? I think it was 68,000 we started with, wasn't it? So we're a little bit down, but we have completed a contract and picked up some science. And we got lots of reputation from that. So I'm interested to know if that gives us any more contracts. Perform aerial surveys, plant flags, science data from space around Minmus, Moon, Minmus, Minmus, Juno, Ike, Minmus, Moon. Escape trajectory. Well, had we not lost the engine on that launch, we would have been in a position to complete both of those contracts. So it was a Separatron issue. I am using debris fund. I didn't put any parachutes on because, quite frankly, we couldn't afford them on that mission. Although we would have been able to recover all the fuel in that great big fuel tank we took, which would have been advantageous. But there you go. Can't win them all. So there's not really a lot of contracts we can take on. Ideally, what we need to do is rescue Lodbur and position a satellite. Rescuing Lodbur is probably going to be the cheaper of those to achieve, and it will earn us 56,000. Do you reckon we can build a recovery craft for 56,000? I reckon we probably can. We don't need it to be particularly large. We just need to be able to get a Kerbal in it. I reckon we can probably do that. We need... That's interesting. Some nice particle effects on the engines for us there. Everything seems to have frozen up for a second there. There we go, that's better. So, if we new rocket this, and go for a command pod, and a Mark II cockpit. Mark II only holds one person, doesn't it? Mass 1532, mass 1592. So that's actually lighter than taking two of those, and the aerodynamics are not too bad. And then we can stick parachutes. No, not docking ports. Parachutes like that and that. Oops. Let's take the whole craft. And nothing but the craft. Now we can possibly make quite a cheap little vehicle for recovery. We will need some return engines. which will be something like that with something like that attached to it. That's cheaper if we need a cheaper engine. Monopropellant engine. We could use... Does that take monopropellant with it? It does, doesn't it? 7,500 worth of it. Or is that 7.5? No, I think that's 7.5, isn't it? Yeah, it is, not 7,500. That would be nice. I wonder if we can do this with monopropellant for the recovery craft. Monopropellant's lighter, right? What would the delta V be on this? 817. So if I attach one of those, then these guys three, 4, 4, 8622 65. That's cheaper anyway, so we'll stick with that. Okay, so 950. I wonder if we can go with the air breathing launcher again and get it to work this time, because we've got a much lighter craft. We'll put some RCS thrusters on this thing anyway, which are in this one, just so that we can use the monopropellant in these if necessary. Oh, we only what do we want? We want 4 of them, don't we? Bit odd looking, but never mind. We only want 2 of those as well. What is going on? That's better. Right, so that's our return stage. Can we need an orbit stage, don't we? I'd like to be able to sort these in monetary order. I want... Is it that one? No, that's too strong. And that's too weak. Where's the one in the middle? I'll tell you what, we'll do that and we'll thrust limit it. 1.45. 1.35, that's fine. So then we have another stage here, and on this one we use liquid fuel. Where's the liquid fuel engines gone? I could have sworn I'd unlocked the the liquid fuel only ones. Why can't I see them? Oh, there they are. Because these are quite cheap. And with the right engine on the bottom, they can get you a surprisingly good distance. 3,516 meters a second. Alternatively, we could get a tricoupler and have lots of them, and that gives us 4,934 meters a second. Obviously we will need air intakes on these, and on this occasion the only ones we can really take are these ones. If we go like that, and we go these air intakes are not particularly effective, so what do we think? That takes us out of the atmosphere. Oh, sorry, that takes us to the ceiling of the atmosphere. That takes us out of the atmosphere. Yeah, burn time 26 minutes. We could be that long in the atmosphere. But with a thrust to weight ratio of 2.3, we'll be going pretty fast by the time we get to 26 meters, which means we'll be outside the atmosphere just by drifting. What do we think? Will it work? I mean, this rocket only costs 27,000. Or should we look at something simpler, such as... The problem is the simpler things are probably going to be more expensive. Something like that, with a Wildcat on the bottom, say. No, okay. Not enough delta V, but is that longer? No, it's wider. Is there a longer one? What if you drop one level of jet fuel? It's worth a look. Hang on, let's... Why don't we attach the engine back on? Oh, come on. Let's get rid of that. Oh. There we go. Right. So, yeah, that's exactly what I did. Your message popped up just as I did it. So that would see. There's not a lot. Still not enough delta V in there though. So we would need more on this stage. I'm just trying to keep it cheap. That's no. Don't use a debug menu. What do you take me for? 3,782 meters a second. Will that be enough, do you think? I have a sneaking suspicion it won't be. We can use these to fly horizontally for a while. Yeah, I know delta V for the jets is not particularly accurate. Well, it's 25,000. If it doesn't work, we have got another 25,000 that we could use. I'm tempted to give it a go. We brought Bob home safely, so he can come with us again. Let's get the Kerbal engineer out of the way. What do we think? What do we think? It will be the Twitch 12. We'll save it. This could be the death of the Elitopia space station, but I'm going to risk it. I'm going to risk it. If I make a perfect descent, yes, if. That should be in big, capital, bold letters. Hopefully these air-breathing engines are giving us inaccurate readings. That's right, and this time I'm going to check where the Kerbal is before I launch. Oh, he's right above us. Right, we need to launch pretty quickly then. So, SAS on, which I'm sure we probably didn't pack. Throttle up. Bob Kerman's given us the thumbs up, so we're ready to go. Here we go. We're off the ground. I'm going to... Oh, wrong way. I'm going to spin us round. Like so. Why are we losing air already? Man, these engines are poor. Really? Really? I couldn't have fitted many more air intakes on there. Well, wasn't risking that. That could have got very messy very fast. However, there's no way this thing is getting up into orbit. Tell you what though, it wants to go vertical. I started the gravity turn early because those engines were losing power. I could hear the power dropping off straight away. I have managed air breathing engines at about 31,000 meters, but it was not these air breathing engines. Yeah, actually, that's not such a bad idea. I'm going to save the fuel. We are going to deploy the parachutes and we're going to try and land it. Because... oh, I shouldn't have done it there though, should I? That was a bit stupid. Yeah, I don't think I really have much control over how close I'm going to end up to the space centre. Let's slow ourselves down a little bit so that we start coming down. Yeah, that's not really going to make a lot of difference though, is it? Let's just cut the engines. Let this thing drift. Speed up time a little bit, I think. Down through the clouds. A spotlight type thing. You mean like a mod spotlight? I could do that. This is true. Right, now let's slow ourselves down. Not quite that early. Stay upright, stay upright. Don't smash. It stayed in one piece, it stayed in one piece. So, we have something we can recover. I'm pretty sure we've already taken crew reports and things from here. Yes, we have. So let's recover that and see what we've got. No new ribbons. What a surprise. What did we recover? We recovered 10,000 funds, which gives us 36,000. That's not a lot. That's not a lot at all. So, can we do that with ordinary engines instead of the air-breathing engines? I'm pretty sure we can. So we have 25. We've got 36,000 funds. That costs 25,000. Let's see what we can do if we switch to standard engines. 1200, 950. Bankruptcy imminent indeed. 3,500. That's a bit risky. What's the 1.29 thrust to weight? So we might have to do that engine to give us the extra thrust to weight, and then we want a thin... No, that's not a thin anything. We want a thin size rocket. $4,080. Ideally, could do with more again, couldn't we? So let's take another one of the KW ones. No, not that one. I keep picking that one up. That's the one I want. That's the way to do it. 4,195. Okay, so that has some thrust vectoring on it, I believe, doesn't it? Yeah, 0.25 degrees. Not a lot, but some. So that's only cost us 16,000 though. So we could attach some itty bitty SRBs. They're not itty bitty. That's an ullage motor. Come on, where's the little ones? Got smaller ones than that. Ah, haha. That puts us at 4,400. So, if I add some radials, we'll go with 4, and we'll have 4 of those. And that gives us 4,658. That should be enough. And yes, we will add some winglets for a bit of stability. We'll put them up here somewhere. Where's our centre of gravity? Yeah, they're behind our centre of gravity, so that's fine. We might need a launch stabiliser on this as well. We're probably going to need some struts as well, aren't we? For these guys. Struts probably cost as much as they do. So, now looking more like a ballistic missile. We do have a delta V of 4,649, although that does include our return engine. It could be a bit nail biting. We might be alright with the aerodynamics mod. We might want some RCS, some SAS on here too. 24,000. Stock simple boosters should work better. You mean the little ones, you reckon? Where are they? These guys. 325 they cost. How much did the Globe ones cost? Where are they? Those ones. 230. So they're cheaper, but we might only need 2 of those, and yeah, that's again not a bad idea from the Twitch chat. Let's see what that does for us. $4,683 and marginally cheaper. Probably going to have to put some nose cones on that. That doesn't break the bank. 4,682 is not bad. Maybe a bigger tank for the top stage. Well, that's only supposed to be the return stage. We have got some RCS that we can use for manoeuvring. Maybe... yeah, maybe the slightly larger one. How much does that carry? That carries 90 liquid fuel. So if we went for... no, not these ones. 108, 216. That's 108. 216. That's a bit big, isn't it? So where's the stock one that's in between those? That one. 180, but size-wise it actually works better. It's interesting. So we've still got decent thrust to weight. In fact, that's just with the boosters. We've got 1.55 thrust to weight. That's pretty good. And they detach, and then that comes in with a 141 thrust to weight. Then up here, that detaches, and then that will fire. Then that detaches, that will fire. That detaches, and then our parachutes will fire. So that is looking... it's looking not too bad. Are we going to need... you know what we're probably going to need? Going to need a heat shield under there, aren't we? There we go. 4798. I can live with that. It's the Twitch 13. And we only want Bob coming with us. Good. Save it. We shouldn't need separatrons for these, because they won't be on there very long, and this engine will kick us out of the way, so we should be okay with that. We're going out to the launch pad. We are really cutting our funds fine. Okay. Bear with me a second. Just taking on some administration. So here we are. Where is our Kerbal? Okay, he's floated around a bit now, so let's speed our time up a bit and bring our Kerbal back to somewhere where we can meet up with him. Where is his altitude? He's at 108. 108 is not too bad. Bring him a little bit nearer. There we go. Am I the maker of... oh, hang on. What? Am I the maker of... no, I'm certainly not the maker of KSP. I wish I could lay claim to KSP, but it is not my creation. Unless you weren't talking to me and you were talking to someone else, in which case they may well be the makers of Kerbal Space Program hiding under a pseudonym. But no, certainly not me. So, here we go. Bob Kerman's with us again. We are on the launch pad and our SAS is on. Are we ready to go? Are we ready to give this a try? Here we go. It's not doing anything. Yes. KSP makers are indeed much less British and far more Mexican than I am. Right, anyway, sorry, back to the launch. Here we go. We're away. That's quite a decent speed. We are away. Here we go. Let's see if we can turn at all. Atmosphere doesn't want us to. Careful with those caps there, big boy. Bob doesn't seem too sure of things. I'm not particularly sure of things myself. Oh wow, okay, we're going pretty fast. Let's slow ourselves down. That fuel didn't last as long as I expected it to. What height was he at? 100 and something, wasn't it? Where's he gone? He's gone right past us. Oh dear. He's at 107. So let's get ourselves into orbit at around 107. He is a pretty stupid Kerbal. He's managed to strand himself in orbit. Clever Kerbals don't generally strand themselves in orbit. Right, we're going to need to catch up with him, aren't we? So let's stay just under our target orbit height, and we'll make that up in a minute. We are, however, going to need to be burning to circularize bit early. Speed us up a little bit. Gonna run out of fuel. Didn't want to be using this stage, but never mind. As long as we get our periapsis outside of 70,000, at this stage I don't really care what happens. There we go. So, let's get Lodber set as our target and see how far away we are. Okay, so we have, what's that? Intersect 1, target position at intersect. So, yeah, that's not how we do it. We are going to catch up with him, but it's going to take us quite some time. How's our life support? 5 days. We've got plenty of life support. Right, well, let's start. Suppose we could speed up the catching up if we bring our apoapsis down a little bit. Don't really need to do that. Let's bring this one up. Make sure we've still got him on our radar. There we go. So we're just going to have to speed up and catch up with him. There's a Twitch 11 probe there that I haven't recovered. That's interesting. There's some funds there that we haven't exploited. Okay, so he's got a bit closer this time. Out of interest, if I... Yeah, I thought so. If I burn at this point, we might be in a position to... No, not quite catch up with him. What if I do it a little bit later on? Not that much later on. No, so I think next time around. Hopefully we're not going to overtake him, but then if we are, we can correct that. Oh no, look, there we go, we're getting very close now. So, if we manoeuvre here, Where did it go? There we go. So distance 71, too much. Once more. Once more. Life support. Still 5 days. Plenty, plenty. Right, so now we look at burning at the periapsis. What do we have? 14.1, 52.1. 7.4, 11.7, okay. 17.8. Oh, 4.1. Not perfect, but I'll take it. I wonder if we can beat that with some jiggery pokery. 4.8, so that's possibly the wrong way. 4.7, 9.1, 5.2, 4.1. Is it an inclination thing? Could be, could be. 1.2, there we go. So let's find out where that target node is. Over there. And a 3-second burn. Hey there, AstroCurb. Welcome to the chat. We are just attempting to recover a Kerbal. Make sure we stay on target. A 3-second burn is imminent. We've got RCS to adjust it though, so we should be okay if we mess up for any reason. Here we go. How did we do? 1.9. Good enough for me. So now we spin ourselves around, ready for our intersect. How far are we from our target at this point? 6 kilometres. So let's bring him in a bit closer. 1.9 is our lowest. One kilometre. As soon as we're within 2 kilometres, we can switch to the Kerbal. We didn't pack any lights, which is a bit of a pain. We could potentially put Bob on EVA with his light on. Except I didn't mean for him to let go. Oh, okay, board then. EVA, light on. Well, it gives us something to aim for. We are now in a position where we can switch to Lodber. No, not quite. I thought 2.2 kilometres was the switching point, but clearly I'm wrong. Cannot walk while you've got a Kerbal on a ladder. That's very wise. Okay, so this plan isn't working. You board. I want to switch to Lodber. Aha! There we go. What is the latest version of KSP? That would be 0.24.2. Right, Lodber. You put your lights on. Get your RCS on. Set that as your target. Not really sure what's going on with those indicators. But you, my friend, can start heading towards the Twitch 13. I do indeed have janky interwebs for at least another week or so until I get my new satellite dish fitted, at which point I will be streaming at much higher quality. Whoa, I'm going too fast. Slow down, slow down. Okay, now I just can't see it. There it is. Right. A Kerbal without a helmet? That's just not a Kerbal. I'm pretty sure the helmet is like part of their anatomy. Whoops, you missed. This way. Grab. Board. Hey, we have successfully retrieved Lodbar or Lodbur Kerman. Rescue Lodbur Kerman from Kirby and get Lodbur Kerman aboard a vessel complete. 6,250 funds. Lodbur Kerman is now part of the space program crew. Thank you, Lodbur. Bob Kerman's looking very back of the helmet. So, where are we from our apoapsis at the moment? Wrong end. Wrong end of our apoapsis. So, let's spin ourselves round back to our apoapsis and we can bring Lodbur Kerman home for a wonderful 50,000 Kerbits. Is there a general consensus as to what the currency of Kerbin is that we are striving to achieve? I know it is referred to as funds, but it's not really a currency name, is it? Okay, we're at our apoapsis. We are ready for our retro burn. Kerbucks. Could be, could be. Credits and coins. I think they should be called Kersplats. That starts with K. And that's pretty much how they earn them too. Okay, 29,000 periapsis is good enough for me. Well, most Americans it is dollars, so you can call it what you want. Uni-Kerbal currency. Uni-Kerbals. Kerplunks. So, we're coming home. Let's see what the situation is here. How much fuel have we got? We've got loads of fuel left, so we might be able to even save the fuel too. Although we may have some issues with our parachutes. Yeah, I'm going to keep the fuel just in case we lose our parachutes on re-entry. That would not be the first time. Why have I got that up? I don't want that up. Where are we? We're back in the atmosphere now? We are. Interesting little look there for just while we're I've never used the in-flight computers on these. Okay, we are coming into the atmosphere. Let's sort out our staging so we don't stage our parachutes off. That's that, and that's our heat shield. Yep, so that's fine. Come on then, Bob and Lodbur. Lovely sunrise there. Let's slow ourselves down so that I can keep control, because we're about to get very warm, as you can see by this engine starting to go red. We've got to make sure that we are pointing exactly retrograde so that our parachutes don't burn. And it looks like they're getting a bit hot already. Let's turn this way and see if we can we save the parachutes. They're starting to overheat. Come on, come on. Come on. No, don't overheat. Don't overheat. Ah, no. Okay, we lost one. We lost one. So if I keep us to this side now, we should be okay and keep at least one of them. Good job I haven't staged off the engine. I think we might be okay. Yeah, deadly re-entry for sure.